Maybe it feels like it was all your fault. The belief is that if things were just a little quieter, a little better, the relationship wouldn't have broken. Nobody deserves that kind of pain. It was never about you. Their cruelty was a desperate, exhausting cover-up for their own flaws. In this video, we're exposing the 5 psychological things people who hurt you are actually masking. And number 4 is going to completely change how you view your past. Think about how this person always made you feel incredibly small, how they systematically picked apart achievements or mocked genuine joy. They do this because tearing someone else down is the fastest way to artificially elevate a fragile ego. But here's the uncomfortable truth. They didn't break people down because of weakness. They did it because they felt entirely powerless in their own life. You're not broken. You just became a mirror for their insecurities. Let that sink in. Which brings us directly to the second thing they are hiding. They never seemed like the same person twice. Have you ever noticed how quickly they could switch from cruel to charismatic? That happens when someone completely lacks a core identity. They have a fragmented self. Because they are empty inside, they have to steal emotional energy from stable people. They desperately need a reaction. The tears and anger are the absolute only proof they exist. But there's a deeper reason they targeted you specifically, which we'll uncover at the end. They can't maintain the mask forever, which is why number 3 happens. Remember the sudden, unpredictable outbursts over incredibly minor things. A wrong look, a slightly delayed text, and suddenly the war started. Nobody is walking on eggshells because of clumsiness. You were surviving a daily minefield they actively laid down. Here is the absolute psychological secret about their intense rage. Anger is just the bodyguard for fear. When they feel the false narrative slipping away, they immediately lash out to violently regain their control. That wasn't power, that was panic. And that panic comes from the very thing they are terrified you will see. Let's look at number 4. Everything they loudly accused others of doing, they were actually doing themselves behind closed doors. Psychologist Carl Jung called this the shadow. It is the dark, hidden part of the human psyche. In simple terms, they outsource their own guilt onto you so they don't have to carry it. Wild, right? This is why number 4 changes everything. They projected their deep shame onto pure innocence. Every time they called you selfish or crazy or toxic, they were talking to a mirror. Their loud accusations were actually quiet confessions. Here's the kicker. All of this points to the ultimate secret they will take to their grave. Number 5. They didn't choose their targets based on low self-esteem. They chose targets who had something they could never buy, fake, or steal. Authenticity. A deep capacity for genuine love and empathy is a constant, agonizing reminder of what they completely lack inside. They tried to actively dim that beautiful light because it painfully exposed their own hidden darkness. You're remembering exactly how it felt. You didn't do a single thing wrong. You simply shined too bright in a room they desperately wanted to keep dark. That is the deep, profound truth they hid from you since the very beginning. So here is where the power finally returns. Tell me in the comments, what is the one specific trait about yourself that they tried the hardest to destroy, but you completely refused to let them? Drop your answer below. We are building a safe community of survivors here, and I read every single one. Remember this truth today. Your empathy is never a weakness. It is an ultimate superpower. Protect your peace.